Let's talk about Michael Cohen, because it was a very tough day in court for Team Crime. A federal judge rejected an attempt by President Trump and Michael Cohen to block prosecutors from reviewing documents and communications that the FBI took from Cohen's office and hotel room. The judge also forced Cohen to reveal the name of the one client he had tried to keep secret, and that client is longtime friend of the pod, Sean Hannity.
Surely not the Sean Hannity from television.
The very one, the same.
Let's bring out the corkboard and red string here. Where does Hannity fit into this puzzle, guys? Why?
He's the piece that the dog got and you didn't need anyway. In terms of the puzzle,
we know Michael Cohen's not a real lawyer. He's a weird fixer who buys taxi cab medallions and does other strange businesses. The two pieces of business he did that are relevant here are essentially hush payments to a very senior RNC official, and for Donald Trump. We don't know what he did. We don't know what work he did for Sean, but I mean, it doesn't sound good.
Michael Cohen is a lawyer in the same way Sean Hannity is a journalist.
Right.
By the way, too, like all these people on Twitter now are like, is Sean Hannity going to recuse himself from talking about Michael Cohen? What is this? I'm like, yeah, no. Up until today, I thought Hannity was a real straight shooter. The James Comey of Fox News. That's what they call him. Like,
recuse himself. Was he going to swear an oath? What are you talking about?
Why isn't Fox News punishing him? Because he's a fucking psycho who goes on the air every night and says whatever the hell he wants to say.
He said that Hillary was in cahoots with Whitey Bulger.
Oh, we're all so disappointed that Sean Hannity didn't reveal to us that he was using Michael Cohen's legal services.
It's actually revealing.
What a shocker.
They talk on the phone every night.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so disappointed.
It's so revealing, too, that literally no human being on Earth was like... it's just like, oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Moving on.
Sure. What a creep.
Sean Hannity's explanation is, I think once I gave him $10 and asked him for real estate advice, and that he must have taken that as attorney-client privilege. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's
what you do when you submit documents to a court.
Well, so how screwed are Michael Cohen and Donald Trump, do we think? Like, why work so hard to keep federal prosecutors from even reviewing the information seized in the FBI raid before they could review it first?
I don't know. I mean, Donald Trump doesn't email. Who knows what written documents he has? I think what we know is that Donald Trump has a business empire that is built on working with a whole bunch of corrupt people around the world. It is a total shell game. Like, I don't think he's actually a successful businessman. I think he's likely engaged in potentially criminal activities via his businesses, and Michael Cohen would have the receipts. We also know that Michael Cohen's not a very good lawyer. He's incredibly stupid. He created these shell LLCs to make these payments, and he used the same one over and over again, and that's how he got busted.
For the hush money payments.
Yeah, he's not a scrupulous individual. He's not like crossing a lot of T's and dotting I's.
Tommy's got the understatement of the pod. Not a scrupulous individual.
I was also thinking, like, the Weinstein investigation, and what came out of that investigation was that some of the most respected lawyers in the country were engaged in despicable and criminal or near criminal behavior. What we're learning is just how much criminality goes on every single day for powerful people like Donald Trump, and they just were not ready for this kind of scrutiny. They just weren't built for it.
Yeah, I mean, DOJ also confirmed on Friday that Cohen has been under criminal investigation in New York for months because of his business dealings.
Which, by the way, I mean, Donald Trump calling him, whatever he said could have been picked up by the FBI. There's a very good chance it was, if he called from his like random Android phone from executive time, could have been picked up by a half dozen foreign intelligence services. I mean, this was a monumentally stupid thing to do.
Yeah, there is a reason that what's gotten Donald Trump the most upset about Mueller and all these investigations is every time the business stuff comes up.
Yep.
This is why the tax returns weren't released. This is why the New York Times said that he tried to fire Mueller back in December because of the Deutsche Bank story, because they were going to get records from Deutsche Bank. This is why he's went crazy last week about the Cohen raid. This is why the New York Times story also said that this is the investigation they're most worried about in the White House, more so than the other ones.
His so-called red line that he drew in the interview with the New York Times reporters at the golf club.
About his business deals that he knows are criminal.
This is the part of the movie Conspiracy Theory where we find out that Mel Gibson is crazy because it all really happened to him. And and it's all very bizarre. Trump pardoned Scooter Libby, because he was so passionate about the way this man had been abused by the system. Give me a break. And then he calls Michael Cohen, and then Michael Cohen just skips court to hang out with a bunch of goons in a park. We have no idea what that conversation is about. We have no idea what's going through Michael Cohen's dumb fucking head. I went to high school with a bunch of Michael Cohens, and I didn't know what they were thinking when they were beating the hell out of me. So whatever, I won't deign to understand. But when the Michael Cohen sitting in front of me in science class and the Michael Cohen sitting behind me in science class lifted up my desk and then dropped it to the ground just to get the teacher to turn around. I don't know why they did that either.
Feels like we just went to another place. Anyway,
I don't know why.
That's just like what happened last week.
I don't know why that Michael Cohen killed the fish for my science experiment that very same year. The point is.
End of point.
Because the Michael Cohen story has just continued. There was also a story on Friday, and McClatchy ran this, that Mueller has evidence that Cohen was in fact in Prague in 2016, which Cohen still denies, which would confirm part of the Steele dossier, which basically says that Cohen went to Prague in order to collude with Russians. Question about the story is no outlet since Friday has confirmed this. The story was based on two sources familiar with the matter. It seems unlikely that the sources would be from Mueller's team because they have not leaked. So there's been some question of, is this story true? Is it too good to be true? What did you guys think about the Prague?
I do believe.
Affair?
I do believe the smoking gun will be the fridge magnet Michael Cohen got for his wife. But other than that, I have no thoughts.
Yeah, one of those little balls you shake and it makes a snowstorm. The Prague Castle. I don't know. I mean, it is weird that no one else has been able to confirm this. It also just feels like the most easily knowable fact. Like, did you go to Prague or not? There will be flight records of your phone, like whatever it would be required to run something like this down, a passport, whatever. Even if he has a burner passport, even if you went through Germany into Prague because you used the Schengen visa and you don't have to get another, I don't know, whatever. We should be able to know this, and it's strange that McClatchy's out on an island on this one.
Yeah. Where does this all lead next? I mean, I'm talking to Adam Davidson a little bit about his piece. The end stage of Donald Trump's presidency. Basically, the theory is, we're about to see now what's coming with Cohen and all the business stuff. Like, this is where all this leads, and this is where the crime is, and what happens from here. And the question is, look, we have been here very doubtful that Republicans will ever impeach this president, ever. And even if the Democrats take back the House and even the Senate, we're needing 66 votes in the Senate to impeach the guy is a tall order. Is it still a tall order if there are multiple crimes of money laundering and all kinds of business stuff? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think it's, we have to, even on this, remember to stay out of the prediction business.
Yep.
We have very little control on this to this day. We still have very little information compared to what Mueller has, compared to what's happening in New York. We really just don't know enough. And there's also very little we can do. The only upshot of anything we learn in the next 6 months is do whatever it takes to win the House. Yeah. Do whatever it takes to win the Senate. There's no...
All roads lead back to the House.
Right.
No matter what, whether you're talking about Mueller, tax cuts, healthcare, whatever else.
The impeachment's a political decision and would require, and we know that Trump's approval is locked at around 43%. His quote that he could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue has proven to be true time and time again, and he wouldn't lose supporters. The people in Congress that we need to vote in support of an impeachment range from crazy to coward, and the ones who are relatively brave are retiring. So I think we need to plan for a huge one in the midterms that gives us a chance to run a whole other series of investigations in the House with subpoena power that can bottle up his agenda and continue to make him just be ineffective, and then we kick his ass in 2020.